If a man can't spend $75 or $100 on a first date, he just shouldn't be dating. If a man wants to take you on a walk or go for coffee on the first date, say no.
So I got dumped because I asked a man to pay for everything. And before you guys comment, I just want to know, do you guys think that I was in the wrong?
Yes, you saw that man as an ATM and he saw you as a liability. So yes, you are in the wrong. Because as you said in your video, you're only a girlfriend. So there's only two reasons I would see why you would want an arrangement like that. One, you want to work and keep all your money to yourself, which is selfish in itself, because that's your relationship and you don't want to contribute anything towards it. Two, you just want to stay at home and be a lazy girlfriend doing nothing while that man pays for your life. Because from your video, you seem fairly young, so I'm assuming the boyfriend is around your age. Maybe he's not. And you don't have any kids to have a valid reason why you would want to stay at home all day, other than the fact that you're just lazy and want someone to pay your life while you do nothing. So it sounds like that man did the right thing. He's trying to find a woman that wants to build a life with him, not someone that's going to be dead weight or an anchor throughout his entire life. And more men should start to think this way. Identify the woman that you're with, if she's a loser or not, and cut loose before the shit gets worse.
How many times have we seen this play out? She says she's independent, doesn't need a man, and can handle life on her own. But the moment the bill hits the table, suddenly, she wants a real man to pay for everything. Well, guess what? Her boyfriend dumped her because he got tired of being used. And honestly, he did the right thing. Today, we're breaking down the double standard modern women don't want to talk about. You can't be a boss babe on Monday and expect traditional treatment on Friday. It's time we talk about what men are seeing, why we're fed up, and why the game is changing fast. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the modern dating mess we're in. Her boyfriend dumped her after she insisted he should pay for everything, and now she's shocked. But here's the thing. This is the world modern women created. They spent years shouting that they're strong, independent, and don't need a man. They say they can do bad all by themselves, that they're bosses and queens who run the world. Fine. But then they turn around and expect men to play traditional roles, foot every bill, pay for dinners, vacations, rent, and everything else, while offering nothing traditional in return. You can't play both sides and expect it to work in your favor forever. It's a game of convenience, and men are waking up. You want equality when it benefits you, but the moment it requires accountability or contribution, you retreat back into gender roles that only favor you. And then when men say no, when men walk away, when they stop paying for every little thing, suddenly he's broke, he's cheap, or he's not a real man. No, that's called boundaries. That's called not being used. Men are tired of being walking wallets with no return on investment, especially from women who don't even bring peace, femininity, or support to the table. What exactly are these modern women offering that makes them think they deserve a man who will shoulder everything financially? Many of them want the perks of a traditional man. Protection, provision, leadership, without submitting to anything that makes a woman traditional. You can't be a party girl on Instagram all week, chasing attention and living your truth, then expect a man to turn around and reward that with full financial responsibility. That's not how it works. You either embrace a traditional role and what comes with it, or you live in the world you created. The problem is many modern women confuse standards with entitlement. A standard is based on what you bring to the table and what you're willing to give in return. Entitlement is demanding something you haven't earned. And sadly, entitlement is the fuel behind most of these modern dating expectations. They believe they're owed something simply for existing. Meanwhile, men are expected to prove themselves at every step while getting nothing solid in return. No loyalty, no peace, no cooperation. That's why more and more men are walking away, not because they're afraid of relationships, but because they're tired of being scammed and won. This is what happens when you keep trying to rewrite the rules to only benefit one side. Men are waking up to the scam. They're realizing that modern dating is often a one-way street, where women make all the demands, set all the standards, and expect men to comply without question. But now men are pushing back. They're no longer afraid to walk away from a woman who thinks her presence alone is enough. Because the truth is, if you want a traditional man, you better be ready to be a traditional woman. not just in words, but in action. So to the women out here getting dumped because you expect a man to pay for everything, understand this. It's not about money. It's about fairness, balance, and mutual respect. You can't demand the old rules while living by new ones. And until women start accepting that they either play their part or stop demanding a man plays his, the dating world will keep collapsing. You can't have it both ways. And men are finally done pretending that you can.
Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong. I'm not trying to make this video because I want to bash a man or anything of that nature. I want to make this video because I want a man to understand that you have to come politically correct when you're coming at a woman that has her things together. I've had 3 different men reach out to me today and ask me to pull up on them. Pull up on you. Pull up on you, but you haven't planned anything. You didn't say, hey, why don't you take a day off and let's plan something so that we can spend some time together, or let's plan a nice little date. I'm telling him, like one guy, I'm telling him, I'm like, I'm going to get my hair done. He like, oh, you busy today? Da-da-da-da. Not, oh, how much is your hair? Oh, is there any way I can contribute today? I know you work really hard. You know, it was none of that. It's never like anything that makes any sense to me. My bills are over 10 grand a month. I work very hard every single day. I put my 110% in. I am a single mother with 2 children. Single mother by choice, by the way.
First and foremost, she used the term politically correct in the wrong context. But that's besides the point. I'm sitting here wondering, did she have the same standards for her baby daddy that put 2 kids in her? These women will get kids from another man, and then all of a sudden they feel like the next man that they meet, he has to meet her standards. Giving your womb to a guy is probably one of the biggest privileges you can ever give him. That's even higher than marriage, because you can literally die on the table. And she's sitting here saying she's a single mother by choice. I don't know any woman that is comfortable with saying they're single mother by choice. Like, who wants to struggle, go through things, have to work all these jobs, go to school, find this career just to take care of some kids on their own? 3 men hit you up? Why does 3 men have access to you? And a lot of women are come in the comments and say, it's called dating. No, that's called her being frivolous with different men. Men, y'all remember back in the day, it was that one woman that was fine as fuck that every man in the neighborhood wanted, but she wasn't checking for no men? That's what you call exclusivity, and most women don't have that right now. Everything always have to go back to money with these women. I pay $10K in bills. I'm waist training. I'm in my mode. I pay for school. Congratulations on being an adult. All that shit that you just said is just really regular adult priorities. And a man is not obligated to give you anything just because you got $10K in bills.
Modern women today are walking around expecting men to pay just for their time, as if simply being in their presence deserves financial compensation. That's not a relationship. That's a transaction, and let's call it for what it is: prostitution dressed up in entitlement and fake empowerment. She's quick to say she has standards, but the truth is, standards come with discipline, self-respect, and clear expectations, not dollar signs tied to her ego. You can't claim to have high standards when the only thing you're bringing to the table is demands for money. Real standards start with yourself before you start projecting them onto other people. And let's talk about this lie some of them push, that they're paying $10,000 in bills a month. Sis, if you were really living at that level, you wouldn't even be entertaining men who you expect to pull up on you. You'd be in circles with wealthy professionals, not regular dudes trying to make a decent living. The math don't math. You say you're independent, but somehow still looking for a man to cover your lifestyle. Which one is it? Because you can't say you're self-made and still have your hand out. That's not independence. That's delusion. Why is it now considered normal for a woman to treat her bills like they're somebody else's responsibility? Since when did dating become about how much a man can give instead of what 2 people can build together? Men are not banks, and they're not emotional support animals either. And it's insane that these women expect love, leadership, loyalty, and finances from one man, while giving their attention, time, and bodies to 3 or 4 different men at once. That's not dating. That's exploiting the system, and hoping someone dumb enough doesn't notice. You're entertaining 3 different men, none of whom you take seriously, but expect all of them to take you seriously? You sound selfish, manipulative, and trifling. That's not feminine energy. That's confusion with a dose of entitlement. You don't respect any of them. So why should they respect you? You're playing games with people's time and emotions while acting like the victim when men start pulling away. Maybe if you stop treating men like walking ATMs, you'd find one worth keeping. But until then, you're just recycling attention for a lifestyle you can't afford on your own. These women love to talk about what they deserve, but never about what they offer. And no, existing with makeup and filters isn't a personality or a contribution to a relationship. Men are no longer falling for the bait. We see through it. If all you're doing is flexing your body and shouting your bills, then you're not dating, you're selling. And when a man chooses not to buy into that nonsense, suddenly he's broke or bitter. Nah, he's smart, he's aware, and he knows his worth. This is exactly why men are opting out, pulling back, and setting boundaries. Because modern women have made it clear, they don't want love, they want sponsorship. And if she's still jumping from man to man, lying about her lifestyle, and treating dating like a hustle, then she's not a victim. She's a problem. Men are done funding fantasy. If she wants someone to pay her bills, she better start applying for jobs, not looking for boyfriends. Because relationships are about mutual value, not one-sided benefit. Men are finally waking up to the game, and we're not playing anymore.
When are men gonna learn that you cannot be nonchalant to bad bitches? I had an ex who literally used to spoil me so much. He paid all my rent, my bills, everything. But when I broke up with him, because I don't need the money at the end of the day if you're doing too much. You're not acting right. He said, okay, well then go find your millionaire boyfriend then. Go find another. Go find someone who's going to treat you the way I did. You want to know how long that took? A month. A month. I don't know why men think that they're the prize.
Where's the baddie in the room? Because I don't see her. Yeah, such a baddie that she can get a man, but she can't keep a man. You claim that you're a baddie, but aren't baddies independent, can pay for their own shit, but then you have men paying your bills, spoiling you, and treating you a certain way, but then you try to backpedal and say that you don't need his money. Okay. It literally makes no sense because she says that she doesn't need the money, but then she turned around and found a man that was still paying her bills. Make that make sense. But then you think that you're gonna like one-up this nonchalant man by basically admitting to the internet that you found a new man within a month, so you pretty much sleep around. Ooh, damn, you showed him. Imagine getting on the internet and admitting that you sleep around for money, but yet you don't think the man that you had was the prize. Okay, you really showed that good guy that took care of you, that he was doing too much, that he's really missing out. And fellas, let this be your lesson to not pay a woman's bills unless she's in an exclusive relationship with you or she's married to you. Stop paying these women's bills that pretty much know that you ain't shit and they don't value you, respect you, or appreciate you, and think that the grass is greener on the other side. Okay, bye.
She said, when are men going to learn they aren't the prize? While proudly calling herself a self-proclaimed baddie, with a mouth full of food, sloshing and smacking like she had no home training. And this, right here, is what modern men are supposed to be chasing. This is what passes for value today. A loud woman with no manners, no humility, and no self-awareness, yet somehow thinks she's better than every man she meets? Men need to stop entertaining this nonsense. You are the prize when you build yourself. Control your emotions, provide value, and have standards. But that starts with respecting yourself enough to walk away from women like this. Women who think being cute on Instagram makes them royalty while contributing absolutely nothing to a man's peace or legacy. This mindset is a direct result of decades of simping and weak men enabling it. Every time a man throws money, attention, or validation at a woman just for existing, he helps build this false sense of superiority. Simps have created a culture where average women think they're elite just because they have a pulse and a filter. And now, instead of learning how to be loving, supportive, and respectful partners, they're out here screaming about how men aren't the prize, all while offering fast food energy and bedroom entitlement. These women don't want a relationship. They want worship. And the moment a man refuses to worship them, They throw a tantrum and call him broke or insecure. This is a kind of broken mentality infecting the younger generation, completely blind to what love is, what partnership means, or what it takes to build something real. They think love is someone funding their lifestyle, matching their toxicity, and letting them do whatever they want. They don't understand loyalty, sacrifice, or patience. They're not looking for a husband. They're looking for a fan club. And when a man shows up with boundaries, values, and expectations, he's labeled controlling or not man enough. But the truth is, these women just can't handle a man they can't manipulate. And the irony is, these so-called baddies don't even realize they're on a fast track to being alone, miserable, and broke. They spend their youth chasing clout, disrespecting men, and prioritizing attention over substance, then wake up one day wondering where all the good men went. By then, it's too late. Their options dry up, the simps move on, and the high-value men have long stopped entertaining the delusion. They built nothing, invested in nothing, and gave nothing. So now they sit with nothing but bitterness and blame. Men need to wake up and start treating themselves like the prize they truly are. Stop rewarding bad behavior. Stop giving attention to loud, disrespectful women who think femininity is weakness and class is outdated. A woman who doesn't value you, who mocks your worth, who chews like a barn animal while shouting about how she's better than you. That's not someone to pursue. That's someone to avoid. These women need a reality check, not more attention. And the more men start holding the line, the more this entitled mindset will begin to collapse. Because at the end of the day, a woman who can't offer peace, partnership, or purpose isn't worth your time, no matter how many filters she uses or how loud she shouts. Men are reclaiming their value, their time, and their standards, and we're done being disrespected by women who offer nothing but noise. Let them call themselves the prize, but don't let them fool you into thinking they're the only ones of value. You are the foundation. You build, protect, and provide. Never let a woman with nothing but attitude and entitlement convince you otherwise.
Oh, you gotta watch this.
All right, so let me get this straight. You invited me out to come to eat, and that was not even my idea. That was your idea, right?
Okay, and the problem is,
And I'm offering to pay half, but you want me to pay the whole thing?
I'm the woman. I shouldn't have to pay anything. Yeah, I invited you out because I wanted to go out. That doesn't mean I have to pay.
No, this was your idea. Actually, I don't even have to be a gentleman to pay half of it.
Because you're going to pay it all.
But this was your idea to come out. You're the one that invited me out.
And you're the man, so you have to pay the bill.
Says who?
When did that become a rule?
Says me. What do you mean?
In what book is that written in?
It doesn't have to be written. That's just a rule.
This is my card right here. I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to pay half of the bill. How much is it? Hold on.
You pay the whole bill or you sleep on the couch.
300.
You pay the whole bill or you sleep on the couch.
I ain't even trying to go to your house.
So what kind of transaction was this?
I'm trying to go home. How about that?
All then take him home though, but you're still paying this damn bill.
$320, and I'm trying to tell you, I'm going to pay half of it. And you're telling me to pay the whole thing?
Yeah.
When it was your idea to take me out?
Yeah.
So make that make sense.
Because of what again?
Because you're the man and you're responsible for the bill.
I'm about to take my goddamn card back in my wallet because it's some bullshit.
I guess
See,
you're gonna be
this is why I'm trying to tell my.
I guess you're gonna be washing dishes then. Because I'm leaving.
Who washing dishes?
You.
Yeah. You're the one that was ordering all this shit. See all this shit for you? You're the one that was ordering all that. I ain't got nothing to do with that. That's your problem, not mine. And I'm still trying to offer. I'm gonna pay half of it. Are you gonna pay half?
No. I ain't paying nothing.
Wow. So she ain't paying nothing?
Excuse me. Time to go.
Time to go where? I'm putting my car in my back in my wall. What the f?
I guess they're gonna call the police.
Call the police on who?
On you.
It was your idea. You the one that.
You got proof for that?
You see all this fuck?
You got proof for that?
Yeah, right? Oh, I don't know what the fuck. Yo, See, this I'm always talking about. Women think because you're the man, you gotta pay for it, but they wanna be independent. You're independent. Why don't you pay for the shit?
Don't come for me.
Yeah, she's paying for it.
Okay. She paying? You making
She's
her
definitely paying for the whole thing.
You making her pay?
Yep.
That
She
doesn't
is.
seem right.
What do you mean it's not right?
Doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right.
Why doesn't it seem right? He did ask him out, so I would assume that she was paying, because women do take men out on dates as well, unless she forgot that part. So I would assume that she was taking him on a date. And I think he's going out of his way to even pay half, especially when he says she ordered a whole lot of stuff. I'm like, come on. So was she just hungry and decided, hey, I want to go here? I'm going to order whatever I want, and my man going to pay for this. And then we going to go back to my place. Because as soon as he was like, no, I'll pay half, or even was like, you know what, forget it, I'm putting my card back in my pocket, she was like, you sleeping on the couch. So was she wanting him to pay for her food so that she can repay him when she got back home? Is that how it worked? Was that the agreement? Or she just assuming? Because just like women don't want to be played, men don't want to be played either. If you want him to take you out, be like, hey, babe, I'm a little short on cash. I would love to go to this restaurant. It makes me think of the last video I had done where the woman said, my money is my money and your money is our money. I don't see how she would think any of this was fair. I want to hear your thoughts. Drop your comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, follow. You know what to do. Was he wrong for only offering to pay half? Let's go.
So let's get this straight. She asked him out on a date, picked a spot, ordered expensive meals, ran up the tab to $300, and then when the bill came, she sat there looking at him like he was supposed to cover everything. That's not a date, that's a setup. Men are not walking ATM machines. And the fact that she even expected him to pay for something she initiated shows exactly how twisted the modern dating scene has become. This is the entitled mindset a lot of women carry now. They want to play boss, call the shots, and make the plans, but when responsibility shows up, they shrink back into traditional roles, only when it benefits them. He did the right thing by refusing to cover the whole bill. That kind of behavior deserves boundaries, not rewards. If a man asked a woman out and then made her pay for everything, he'd be labeled broke, toxic, or abusive. But somehow when the roles are reversed, she still expects to be treated like royalty. It doesn't work like that. If you ask someone out, you take on the responsibility for that outing. But modern women want control without accountability, power without responsibility, and perks without effort. And when men say no to the manipulation, suddenly they're the bad guy. Nah, we're just not stupid anymore. This is exactly why so many men today are done dating. Because they're tired of being used. Tired of dealing with women who think femininity is about taking and never giving. This new Gen Z dating culture is built on entitlement, not effort. Women want to be chased, praised, paid for, and posted, all without offering loyalty, respect, or gratitude in return. They want to be queens without earning the crown, and that's why more and more men are walking away. The juice isn't worth the squeeze anymore, and this dinner date situation is just one small example of the larger problem. And don't get it twisted. Her attitude during that date said everything. That entitled, smug looked like she deserved to be catered to just for showing up. That's a massive turnoff. It's not about the money, it's about the principle. When a woman expects a man to always provide, even when she's the one making the move, she's not looking for a partner. She's looking for a provider she can manipulate. And real men are tired of that game. We want respect, not leeches. We want connection, not contract disguised as relationships. If you're not going to bring anything to the table except your appetite and your attitude, then you don't deserve a man's time, money, or presence. Women like that expose themselves every day, thinking they're doing something clever, but all they're doing is showing men why dating has become a joke. And any man who refuses to play along is absolutely right. Set your boundaries, protect your wallet, and don't fall for fake femininity that only shows up when the bill does. Let her pay for her own meal next time. Or better yet, let her sit with that attitude by herself. Because in the end, Royalty must be earned. Respect must be mutual. And relationships are supposed to be built on value, not leeching. If a woman can't even handle paying for the date she planned, she's not ready for a real man. She's looking for a come-up, not a commitment. Men are learning the difference, and we're finally choosing peace over pressure. Let her call you cheap. Let her call you broke. At least you didn't pay $300 to be disrespected.
If a man can't spend $75 or $100 on a first date, he just shouldn't be dating. If a man wants to take you on a walk or go for coffee on the first date, say no thanks and move on. And what do women commonly do to get ready for a first date, especially? New outfit, nails done, hair done, maybe buy some new makeup or perfume or jewelry. Jesse, it's not about the money. On the first few dates, it is. On every date moving forward, it is. When I was in my mid-20s, I think I was 25, a guy wanted to take me to the dog park for our first date because we both had dogs. I said, I'm not going to the dog park on our first date. And so he said, okay, well, what do you want to do? And in my head, I'm like, I'm already planning and we haven't even gone on the first date. So I said, you think about it and get back to me. And he never got back to me. Either he didn't like me enough or he thought that taking me out to eat was too much money, was too much effort, or he didn't have the money to take me out to dinner. Either way, not for me.
Men listen to this and then you wonder why they are just done with dating. Because why does he have to go all out on the first date when the purpose of the first date is to see if you even like each other? And for me personally, as the woman, I never put in much effort into the first date. Meaning my hair and makeup was the same that I had already done for the day. And the new dress in my closet, I didn't wear that until date number 5 or 6 that my fiance took me on. That was the expensive dinner date. And we threw some axes. My honest opinion is that women that demand these things on the first date, there's a reason for it. And unfortunately, it's because she doesn't typically make it to the second, third, fourth date. So she's feeling a certain way about never receiving these nice things from a man. But that is not the next guy's fault for the guy before him to not like you enough to continue dating you. And it's honestly a red flag, complete turn off if you catch an attitude with a man just because he's asking you what you want to do on the date because you didn't like his first idea.
If a man can't spend $70 to $100 on the first date, he shouldn't be dating. That's the mindset we're dealing with now. Women openly saying that a man's value starts with how much he's willing to drop on a stranger. Not who he is, not how he treats her, not what kind of man he is, just his wallet. And this is exactly why more and more men want nothing to do with modern dating anymore. Because it's not about connection or compatibility anymore. It's about what you can provide up front, before she even knows your middle name. It's not dating, it's business. And they still wonder why men are walking away. They try to justify this foolishness by saying they have to get their hair done, buy new clothes, new perfume, new makeup, as if every single date means a fresh trip to the mall and Sephora. Come on, that's a lie. You're not buying new everything for every guy you entertain. Most of you are wearing the same go-to outfit, same bag, same heels you use on rotation. But now, all of a sudden, it's the man's fault that you choose to spend money you didn't need to spend just to look like someone you're not. You choose that. You control that. That doesn't justify demanding $100 meals like it's some entry fee to your attention. What's even crazier is the delusion that men are supposed to pay for your appearance, as if we asked you to dress up in a certain way. He liked you in what you were already wearing when he asked you out. He didn't request glam squad energy or tell you to buy a new fragrance. So why are you turning around expecting him to cover costs for decisions you made on your own? That's manipulative. That's entitlement. And that's why the whole thing feels like a hustle to most men, because that's what it's become, the only romance. Here is the one women are having with their own pockets. Then there are women, rare as they are, who get it. Women who say, a walk is more than fine with me. That's someone who actually wants to get to know you. That's someone who values your presence, not your payment. But sadly, they're drowned out by the loud majority who treat dating like a transaction, then play victim when the transaction doesn't go their way. They want a man to spend big up front, wine and dine them, prove himself with his bank account. And if he refuses, he's labeled broke, dusty, or not ready for a real woman. But when it's time to bring something back to the table beyond looks and demands, silence. This is a trap. Women make dating transactional, then get mad when men treat it like a business deal. If you're going to judge a man based on what he spends on date one, don't act surprised when he judges you based on what you offer in return. It's a two-way street. And if money is the opening conversation, then don't cry foul when men decide they'd rather not invest in a product with no guarantee. Dating should be about chemistry, values, and potential, not fees, receipts, and price tags. Men are finally seeing the pattern, and they're choosing themselves instead. Because spending $70 to $100 on a woman who already sees you as a wallet isn't romantic. It's stupid. And the moment you set that standard, you've made it clear it's not about connection. It's about compensation. So if women want real men, they need to start acting like real women. Stop turning dating into a financial audition. Because when all you're offering is a price tag, don't be shocked when all you get is rejection. And that's the truth, fellas. If the first date comes with a price tag and no real connection, it's not a date. It's a transaction. And more men are waking up to it. You don't owe anyone $100 just to be heard or seen. Your time, your energy, and your presence have value too. So stop chasing validation and start protecting your peace. If she's counting dollars before counting character, she was never really interested in you. Just what she could get. Stay sharp, stay focused, and always remember, you are the prize, and you don't have to pay to prove it. If you found value in this, hit that like, drop a comment below, and subscribe for more truth they don't want men to hear. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay solid.